welcome back. I am the Watcher, and I'm not gonna lie, this week's book, kind of mid. It's not really bad or anything. In fact, I can't even think of any trigger warnings for it. It's just, this is a dying franchise, and you really see why. But that didn't give you any reason to click off of this one. Still, I want to invite you back next week when I'm going to be doing The Ark, a chick publication. I don't know what's in that one yet, but you know it's going to be bad. Anytime people are being punished they don't agree with, they're gonna talk about everything they don't like. That one's sure to be a hoot and a half. My last video on them ended up being an hour and a half. I think it's my longest one to date, but there'll be more than enough time for that next week. For now, let's get to Team America. Welcome to the main segment. So, starting with the cover, there's some unusual lighting going on here, like the cross-hatching on his cheekbones that go rather high. Reedy's yellow face for some reason. Lobo, he's kind of looking like a Tapatio with the blue eyes. You know, I didn't even notice Marauder in the background because he's black. And this is literally all of them that's in the episode. They're not going to have a Tex or a Wrench. I want to point out the bikes. You might be wondering what's going on with the engine there, and you're going to wonder that a lot. At least you would if they showed the bikes. I think they show the bikes the least amount of any episode out of all these motorcycle themed America comics. Now, if you get to the back though, there is this amazing Star Wars one. It reminded me of the 64 game we had. Start off with the Battle of Hoth. I mean, just look at that artwork. Look at the perspective. Like, you feel like you're being stomped by that thing, you know? The Imperial Walker. Yeah, I know what it's called. I didn't. Just had a brain fart, ladies and gentlemen. But, so you think that's going to be awesome. What could this riveting gameplay look like? Looks like that. Looks like a Tamagotchi. Yeah, that was the shit back then, though, you know? The Imperial Walkers are moving towards the Rebel base on the ice planet Hoth. Can you destroy them before they blow up the power generators? Quick into your snow speeders, launch your attack, and stop the walkers. With the perfect shot at the flashing bomb hatch, take careful aim, fire, kapow. But more walkers are coming. They attack with deadly missiles and smart bombs. Shoot them down or be destroyed. May the Force be with you. Wow, I'm surprised smart bombs. Thought that was like a more recent term, but I believe this came out in 1976. They were talking about smart bombs. You know, there's been a lot of unusual attempts at smart bombs through history. Most notable would be like the Japanese kamikaze. There's a few militaries that tried similar things with pigeon-guided bombs. Didn't work very well. And then the US tried bat bombs, and it actually worked really well. The problem is they got into their own base and blew it up, and they're like, yeah, we're not even going to mess with this. That's how effective it was. Not to endorse the mistreatment of animals, but there's a lot of goofy, what could be called biological smart bombs in history. You know, my favorite example, and a bit like the U.S. Bat fire bombs. Yeah, keep in mind, this is long enough ago. Who knows if it's real or legend at this point. From my understanding, something like this did happen, though. Olga of Kiev. She pretty much marched up to the city, and they didn't want to tangle with her, so they're like, oh, please, we don't want to fight with you. And she's like, all right, fine, just bring me one, it's like a dove or a pigeon from everyone's house, and you guys can live. They kept them, like, in little cages on their door back then, and fed them table scraps. And then ate them, I guess. Well, anyways, so then she got all the pigeons, and she tied these little, I guess, ropes to them and caught them on fire and let them go, and they all flew back to the roost, and it burned the town down. Pretty funny. Well, pretty horrible, but, like, effectively ridiculous. So you get into the comic itself, and you got Cracker Jacks again, and they're giving away some limited edition baseball cards with that Cracker Jack border on them, and I'm going to look up and see if I can find any of these online, see what they're worth now. I thought that was pretty cool. A lot better than the ponchos that had everyone but the Yankees. So you go to the front cover, and I really feel like they're trying to downplay some of the other members. And also, like, I mean, like, look at their arms, how spread they are. It's more the outside riders, not the inside one, though. I think that's Lobo, and that's Reedy, and that's Hancho. Sometimes they're racer, and sometimes they are stunt bikers. They are Team America. And the audience they've entertained this afternoon uniformly cheers them. Pretty good detail on the tires. I mean, I like the whole... This is a cool scene. I'm not going to lie. This is a cool scene right here. Not too much in this book. So they're riding through the audience. You have the soul guy get in the door. And what better reaction to the thunderous applause than an impromptu encore? Then the show is over and the crowd goes home. So yeah, they're just like riding back out through the stadium just to show off. Doing their nondescript motorcycle stunts. Now what stood out to me here is you look at the motorcycle engines and you might wonder what's going on there. And I wondered the same thing. It's like, that kind of looks like a radiator. I'm pretty sure they want that to be the head though. And is that your air filter? What is that? And I don't know if the person who drew this like was looking at a motorcycle, or if he didn't have reference material, or if he's just like, yeah, I know how to draw a motorcycle. I mean, their poses are alright, like the movement, but it's more just like the technical issues with the machine itself. Especially seeing how cool they were in like the first one. I mean, look at that. It's like, what's that from? It's a flat bench, a weird gas tank, a banana seat. What's going on there? So when the show's over, the crowd goes home, except for one man. So that's Team America. Why would Jim McDonald, Hancho, waste his talents on them when he's so much more useful to me? So I guess that's his name, Jim McDonald. No wonder I forgot. Maybe that's why I confused Jim and Tim in the Crusaders at one time. So meanwhile, in the dressing room, and I didn't notice this before, he's just straight up naked. He's like, looking at my chest hairs, amigo, and my perfectly shaven ass. He's like, so who wants to split a pizza, Hancho? And he's like, count me out, Reedy. No offense. And I'll be walking away too. These guys getting a little too comfortable with each other. But I'm doing the town by myself for a change. Too bad I can't let them know what I'm really up to. Behind me, a shadow. And then he does some kung fu crap. Next time, Jack, don't sneak up on a man with CIA training. What, Artie and Turner? Hello, Jim. Haven't seen you since you quit the company. I needed to test you, to see if you'd still fit my organization. What are you talking about? Come on, I'll buy you dinner and tell you all about it. And this chick, she looks suspicious, like she might be a spy or something. No, she's just some nosy dame. They don't bring her up again. Maybe they didn't tip. She's like, they've been sitting there for 3 hours ordering water. To be honest, I've been looking for you. Why, I'm through with the spy business, so I guess Jim used to be a spy. And you think, oh man, that's an interesting background. It's going to make for an interesting episode. Not really. You have some ads here. I like this muscle man. I thought it was like a bird costume or something. But he just has kind of like a weird nose or chin. And I guess that's the shadow. I thought it was like Hawkman Fitness. And this page, what stood out to me is smoking. That's right, smoking. They're blowing smoke rings. They're straight like Gandalf and Bilbo Baggins. And you know what? This is a children's comic. This comic was made for and marketed directly to children. And look, you have some body insensitivity issues. Maybe make yourself buff. Can't get over that? Well, send us in your little sissy poems, I guess, and we'll make music out of it, and you'll get some pennies. Also, remember to smoke your Larmy cigarettes. That's the thing. They don't have the good guy smoking because they thought, oh, we'll just have the bad guy doing it. But kids just imitate it either way. Hey, he looks kind of cool. So, no one ever gets the business out of his system. I want to point out, this is like the most damaged of the Team America comics so far. It looks like it was folded up at one point. No one ever gets the business out of his system. Besides, your country needs you. And I quit the company too. I have a special assignment from the president himself. I'm forming a new organization. The other spy agencies are filled with security risk, so we are slowly replacing them. He starts blowing them smoke rings. You're good, honest, well-trained. I want you with me. Are you game? What can I say, Arden? I'd be honored. Terrific. I'll see you in the morning. Then we'll begin your briefing. So, next day. The next morning. What? You heard me. I have some business to take care of. I'll see you at the next stop, in Austin, Texas. You are in trouble, amigo. I can take care of myself, Wolf. Stay out of it. You ready, Jim? I guess he's gonna follow him on his motorcycle. Pal, I've never been more ready in my life. Let's go. Wow, that was pretty surly, especially for Hancho. Too bad he ordered us to stay away. Wolf does not follow orders, rich boy. And yeah, you see the other guys there, no, they weren't in the show. They're nowhere. Did they downsize Team America? Will they use them later? I guess we'll just find out in a future episode. As Wolf and Reedy ponder their options, Hancho follows his friend to the nearby city. They park in this very luxurious sized space. Nice parking lot. But where's your headquarters? Haha, right under your nose. And it starts going in the earth. And if it was like here, the cars would be like parked around him and falling into it. A secret base beneath the building? You have a pretty slick operation here. And there's like a corkscrew that somehow is bringing them down without screwing. I don't know, maybe there's like a flywheel between the screw and the plate. I'm overthinking it. For the rest of the day, Hancho's skills are tested. And you have this pretty cool panel right here. He strips down, which is the second most male nudity you have in the episode. And look, the guys he's beating up have pants on, but he's like, nope, socks and skibbies is all I need. Marksmanship, fighting prowess, physical ability, he is not found wanting. I guess that's supposed to be like his heartbeat, maybe? And then more, just full-blown male nudity. A lot of male nudity in this issue. Turning the frogs gay. Good news, Jim. You still got your edge, and that makes you the best man I have. Get some sleep, pal. I have a big day planned for you tomorrow. Good night. Thanks. And as soon as he's out, he's getting up, and you can see that he is indeed fully naked. I thought he'd never leave. There's no time to waste. And he has his jumpsuit on like super quick. He's like, I always carry baby powder so I could slip right in. Turner doesn't suspect that I know he isn't working for the president, and I'd like to keep it that way. The FBI figured Turner would contact me and asked me to go along and see what this crooked spy ring is up to. Whoops, there he is now, coming out of his office. That was close. Turner almost saw me. I only have minutes to call my FBI connection, before the guards discover I've left my room. Turner's bound to have an electric eye in this door. She opens it up. I guess he throws some dust. Oh, talcum powder. He does carry baby powder with him. The talcum powder I swiped from the shower room will show where it is. Bingo. Yeah, that's where it came from. No trouble at all. For a top-notch spy like me. I guess that's lasers. I thought it was some sort of blade the first time. They're weird-looking lasers. Hello, FBI? Let me speak to Agent Evans. It's urgent. At FBI headquarters? You're talking to him, McDonald. I trust you've infiltrated Turner's setup with no problems? Good. Whatever he wants you to do, short of killing, do it. You know, short of killing, because you don't want to sully our hero's reputation. When you report back to Turner after your mission, we'll grab him. And don't do anything stupid, okay? I have to go. I'll keep in touch. With little effort, Hancho returns to his room unseen. He's really good. Or it's like they're letting him do it. The following day in the briefing room, this airplane is filled with a ring of double agents, ready to flee the country. Your job is to capture that plane, and bring it to me. Looks like a regiment guarding that plane. U.S. Army from the looks of it. It's carrying someone official. And it's leaving. I better get going. And he just drives past these guys and they're like, whoa! And they're all dropping their guns. And I hope I'm not getting into more trouble than Evans can get me out of. Who's that? It doesn't matter. Stop him. He's like, so far so good. But I keep wondering who's really on that plane. And somehow he's just holding on. And this scene looks really weird, like with his ass all twisted around like that. He looks like a piece of roadkill. Super magnets Turner had sewn into my gloves kept me from falling. Like, how does the clothes not rip or your arms rip? Like, you see, like, he can barely, like, hold himself on there. But I hope my arms hold on till I can make it to the cabin. I hate to do this, but if I must. And he takes his helmet off and just smashes it in. I must. Sprack. This is a Secret Service flight, mister. You're committing treason. And he says somehow he, like, fights the G-forces and just flips in, I'm assuming. I don't know, he's just in there now. Sorry about the intrusion, but it's necessary. Oh no, what's going on? Also, for people wondering about, shouldn't the plane be pressurized or whatever? Shouldn't they be getting sucked out? If it's not at a high enough altitude, which it looks like it's below the clouds, they don't have to have it pressurized, and that won't happen. So I'm just going to assume that's what's going on. Otherwise, these boys would be having a lot more trouble than they is. He's like, oh no, and this guy's like, what's going on? And it's like, the wonderful taste of now bubble yum is super yum. Super yum bubble yum. You have this bleak Daredevil ad. Stop it please. The man without fear. Seems pretty scared to me. Master of Kung Fu. Never heard of it. Seems pretty generic. Kinda want it. The Amazing Spider-Man. Kapow. And then Spider-Woman? 1982. I think I said something about this coming out in 76 earlier, so it came out in 82. So he just smashes the door against that guy. Get out. If you don't want trouble in here, keep everyone quiet back there. You two, move away from the controls. But we have to fly the plane. I'll do it. Move. And please don't call my bluff. Moments later, he has them tied up. Mission accomplished, Turner. Tell me how to get to your airstrip and I'll bring her in. And while I'm at it, I'll radio your location to Evans. He thinks to himself. He's like, hurt anyone who gets in your way, boys. But don't let anything happen to that plane's cargo. So they're just going to ambush him. So they get out. They're holding all these guys at gunpoint. They look at that mustache. Good work, Jim. This job will make us rich. Huh? What do you mean? You just hijacked a Soviet defector, Mr. Mustache, sir. Being escorted to Washington by the Secret Service. The Russians will pay a king's ransom to get him back. And he's like, oh, mamma mia, I'm a Wario. Stop being so racist, just because I have a nice mustache. In other words, you've been had. And he pulls out his little weird gun. Which, I mean, the bike mechanics were one thing, but these gun mechanics. So that's your scheme? Exactly as I thought. Well, it won't work. An FBI man is on his way here to arrest you. And your gang right now. Ha. Let's wait for him, shall we? And he pulls up with his own gun. And he's like, I'm already here, McDonald. And I'm not with the Bureau. They threw me out years ago. How are you in that building, though? Turner and I are partners. I pretended I want you former spy boys to help me break up Turner's racket. And I want to point out the gun. So I said his gun is weird. Slim. Stuff's going the wrong way. It just, like, what's with the slide? What's with the hammer? Why does he have his thumb on the hammer? But then you get to this revolver here, which, if it looks like anything, it looks like a .22. It's just a straight cylinder into the barrel. There's, like, no frame. I think they miscolored part of the handle there, so it looks like he has two thumbs. That or this was done by AI, bro. And then, look, like the trigger guard just goes up and connects to the barrel and the front of the cylinder. Like, there's no frame or nothing. It's just a cylinder and a barrel and a little frame. And he's got his thumb on the back of the hammer, so, like, he's pressing it down? I don't know. I do not know if this guy looked at a gun. Or a bike when he was drawing this. Planes look alright, though. It's kind of easy, just draw a big dick. And he's like, whoomp, he hits him over the head with the blackjack. Didn't we get you to pull jobs like this one for us? Neat, huh? You knocked him out, he can't hear you. So you have more of these comic cell ads. So, later at Turner's headquarters, look, Blue Eyes is awake. Sorry, Jim. We're clearing out, but you're staying. At least until we bring the building down on your head. What makes a decent guy like you turn bad? Oh, money mostly. Forget him, and let's get out of here. Ta-ta, Jim. Have a nice life. What's left of it. Too bad Jim has integrity, Evans. We could have used him on our side. I've got an idea. Let's flood the basement. Were you just gonna leave him in there? What was your plan before that? It'll wipe out any evidence we left behind. Like Hancho. Water before an explosion? The sort of overkill I'd expect from Turner. Oh, that's it. He was gonna blow it up beforehand. He doesn't realize it, but he may have just given me a way out of this mess. So, like, what do you think? Like, the water's gonna, like, shield him from the explosion? That is, if the water slickens and loosens these ropes, which, in my experience, water makes them tighter. And on the floor above, timer on and the TNT is set. Let's go. With pleasure. And they're like, huh? Coming down the exit ramp. Who do you think it is? That's right, it's Marauder. Brum, brum. The gentleman is a mysterious cyclist named Marauder. That is like the best part of the comic to me right there. You have these cool little toy cars here. That one kind of looks like a Steve McQueen, like got eyes on it. Some unique comics by Bud Plant. I've never seen that little aardvark thing before. Maybe I should get some of those, huh? Comment down below if you'd like to see me do some of those on the channel. And this one, they put the team talk in the middle, which I'll leave up. I didn't think there's anything too interesting in there. Cool Spider-Woman ad. So Marauder, he does one of those, like, it's like they ride trial bikes, I swear. He pops a wheelie and he has a really square seat now and the engine's all weird. And as Evans and Turner learn to their regret, he's no gentleman. They called him a gentleman just to say that. That black-leathered lunatic knocked out Evans. He'll be coming for me next. You know, I'm realizing doing the ads kind of breaks up the story. Again, comment down below if you'd like me to do edits where it's more focused on the story with no commentary. But Marauder pays no attention to them, preferring to rescue the Secret Service agents who can carry the battle themselves. He tore open the door with his bare hands. Is he a strong man or what? That's not the first time you've seen him have some super strength-like abilities. Yeah, this part coming up, this is pretty funny. So these CIA guys start scrapping. I don't care what he is, but they spook these two big gun cells. So hit them hard while we have the advantage. And there's like, boom, schmuck. Look at that. In seconds, the garage has become a storm of combat. And the eye of that storm is Marauder. With dazzling speed, smashing Turner's henchmen. He's got the weird gun, which, look, you can see. Yeah, it's just a cylinder. What's supporting it when it rotates? He cuts off the means of escape, I guess by shooting the tire. Nothing escapes his sight. You know, shooting tires isn't always that effective. Well, with modern tires. Especially with small caliber munitions. This maniac is ruining everything. Since he was kind enough to leave his bike here, I might as well use it to get a poof. And he's like, the fuck you will. You don't touch my bike, bitch. Boom. He just leaves it in your car. Also, that guy just able to pull that out of a car. He's like, thanks for getting it out for me. Pa-pa. Then as government agents take control of the garage, the mysterious Marauder is suddenly gone. Shouldn't we stop him? Why? In my book, he's one of the good guys. So then backstabbing Bill here. They've caught Evans and everything else. The defector is free. But they don't see me. I can still get away and start over. And there's freaking Reedy and... there's Reedy and Lobo just at the end of a hallway on their bikes. They're like, we rode our motorcycles inside to confront you. And like... is this a private party? Or can anyone join in? And he's like, Team America? Boxed in, what are they doing here? And then, Hancho comes up. I don't know, but I can't say I'm sorry. Jim, but you should have drowned. I almost did. I blacked out while slipping my ropes. But I must have continued on reflex. Because when I woke up, I was floating on top of the water. Free. And they're like, you okay, Hancho? Reedy Wolf, give me the smallest screwdriver you have. And get everyone out of here. I only have seconds to defuse the bomb. And I was like, what if they give him like a Phillips and he needs a flat? So there he is. He's all wet. He's like, I shouldn't be doing this. It looks like a normal stopwatch. But there's evidence locked in these trucks. And we can't move them fast enough with the tires blown out. Somewhere here, there's proof that I was set up. And that proof will put Evans and Turner away for a long time. There, that should do it. Either I'll go sky high, or whew, when he drops that little screwdriver, he's just pulling it out. Our leader looks worn out, no? He's just getting old. That's enough from you two. And they ride off. You got Marauder looking over him. He's like, right now, all I want to do is relax. Anyone know where I can find a nice, quiet, high-speed race? The end. Oh, look, their logos look kind of... It's like a TA now and some messed up stars. I don't know, maybe I didn't pay enough attention to the back. Then you have this Hercules ad that they had in the last one. And I assure you it says the same thing. Still a cool picture, though. Just more ads. Nothing really new. Some baseball cards with what looks like a little Romanian girl. I guess that's like Mickey Rourke or something. I mean, Mickey Rooney. I don't know baseball. Look, I'm not a baseball guy. Then you have some more pinups. And you have the whole team here. So, Wrench and Tex did make it in. Oh, these are Hydra classified files. And you got one on Wrench here. I think I've seen this one in a previous one. I remember using that head when I made Wrench the Soul Rider. And I finally get to use Soul Rider again. I thought it was funny. More comic book ads. You got this monster popping out. I don't know if that's Lizard from Spider-Man. Probably. He looks really lizardy. Captain Prize. And then you get back to the wonderful Star Wars ad with the bend in it. And that has been this week's issue of Team America. Well, what'd I tell you? It kind of blew, didn't it? Yeah, last time how I said, this is probably the weakest of the Team America stories I've read so far. That's till I read this one. I mean, I still don't even remember the guy's name. I remember Hancho. I remember his nickname now, which I swear they didn't start calling him till the last episode. But that's how little of an impact he leaves. It's like, how do you have a story about a bunch of bikers and it's this boring? It didn't even have them all in there. It just had like the main three. They didn't have anything for Wrench to do. Maybe his wife needed him to, I don't know, like help around the house or something. Tex was too busy filming thirst traps like in the last episode. And could they defeat Captain Planet? No, because they kind of suck, honestly. Yeah, this was like my favorite part of bike development and one of my favorite parts of history. It's so boring. Like the first one with Hydra, that was pretty entertaining. Even the one with, what was it, the Mayhem organization, all those goofballs, that one was funny. This one though, it was so plain. It was like a reject B-roll episode for some TV cop show. This was issue number 5, and I think, not counting the Captain America issue, they made 12 of them, so we're about halfway. So we'll see if this trend continues its downward spiral. But I'll finish it with the Captain America one. That's sure to be better, because it's Captain America. America. It's Captain America? No, it's Captain America. I should have put an M on there. I know, this is probably going to be quite a short video. But, these short ones make up for the ones that really need attention. They end up being really long. Still, even though, I kind of trash talked this book a little bit, I did enjoy it, and I very much enjoyed making this episode. As I hope you enjoyed watching it as well. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, and God bless America.